Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'm Kuljeet Kaur with the Sikh Channel, and we're reporting live from the House of Commons. It's Monday, the 14th of July 2025, and we're here for the launch of the Gurdwara Handbook introduced by Gurdwara Aid, leading social enterprise dedicated to supporting Sikh organisations across the UK. So what's inside this handbook, and how is it going to support and change institutions, Sikh institutions across the country? Let's find out.
So many MPs, we've got nearly 40 different organisations of Sikh backgrounds, as well as 40 different organisations of Gurdwara as well. So thank you so much for coming here today. Some of you may remember Gurdeep Singh, who co-founded Gurdwara Aid. Sadly, he's no longer with us today, but we have Bhavan, his daughter, and while his vision, he lived his vision, now is the time where we're seeing that in fruition. And the amount of people present here today just shows the depth and breadth of the reach of Gurdwara Aid. Our ethos is we are better together, and that really is what we're encompassing here today. So thank you. As we have launched our Gurdwara Handbook just over 2 weeks ago, it's a monumental event for us as a Panth, as a community, and hopefully this is what will be forwarded into our future generations.
At the launch of the Gurdwara Handbook by Severn Trent, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So we obviously are a water company based in the Midlands, but why we're here today is we have launched a fantastic initiative with local Gurdwaras in partnership with ECAS and Life Cycle Oils.
Gurdwaras within our regions to help us reduce sewer blockages with fats, oils and greases by recycling, because obviously all of the meals that are prepared at Gurdwara, it produces an awful lot of fat and oil, so to recharge that, and then the Gurdwara benefit because the money goes back from the recycled oil into the Gurdwara and back into the communities.
What a wonderful initiative. It's something, I feel really educated right now. So the next time you're travelling by air, know that there's a little bit of langar on that flight with you. I absolutely love what you're doing. Tell me about where did this idea even come from?
One of our colleagues, Grant Mitchell, who is in charge of our fats, oils and greases projects, we work very closely with ECAS, and we said, we're in an area where we have a lot of Gurdwaras. What can we do to help? Because we're in areas where we get a lot of blockages caused by fats, oils and greases. So we deal with takeaways, but then we saw this avenue and we thought all the food that they prepare for other people, surely we can do something to give something back. So Grant came up with this fantastic initiative, and with ECAS and Lifestyle Oils, they pulled it all together, and now they're giving back into the Gurdwaras, and that helps them obviously carry on the good work that they're doing.
Thank you so much, Jackie, for talking to us, and for Harriet. Much appreciated.
I'd like to welcome first Tan Desi, our MP of Slough, to say a few words before we go through what the agenda is for the day.
Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. It is absolutely wonderful that the good and the great of the British Sikh community are here today in Parliament, mixing with parliamentarians, mixing with others to highlight some of the major contributions of the Sikh community. I want to pay particular tribute to Gurdeep Singh Ji, the late Gurdeep Singh Ji. I know his daughter is here today, and being the founder of Gurdwara Aid, that he did so much for the Sikh Panth, the Sikh community, the Sikh way of life. I also want to commend, where is my friend Jagtar Singh Gill? He should be here somewhere. He's over there. There he is. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you also to Mandeep Singh Ji. I know I met both of you just recently as we looked through some of the contributions that would be included within the book. And I was also very, very pleased that my good friend Paramjit Kaur Ji Mathadu, who is also one of the leading lights, along with Harvinder Singh Rai, that they have all come together to show that leadership with the publication of this book. When I discussed this with my good friend Gurinder Singh Johnson, the Member of Parliament from Smethwick in the West Midlands, we actually penned forwards for the Gurdwara Aid Handbook. It is incredibly important. The reason why the likes of me are endorsing it is because I know what the Gurdwara Aid team are trying to do. They are making sure that whether it's in terms of legal and governance issues, whether it's with regards to processes, just in the workings of the Gurdwaras. There are hundreds of Gurdwaras across the UK, but this handbook will be a very, very handy reference point for them as they navigate their way through various things that they come across as they try to conduct seva, the selfless service within the community. I know that whether it's in my Slough constituency or whether it's in Gurdwaras up and down the land, this is exactly what is needed. So thank you for doing that. It's also wonderful, by the way, to have so many Sikh organisations who you can see that civil society and civic organisations are very much alive and kicking within the Sikh community. Because I think this is something that the MPs will also very much appreciate. I've come across many of you, whether it's Luke Murphy from Basingstoke, look, the reason why I wanted to highlight some of them, like Kim Johnson, we saw Pat McFadden MP here earlier as well as a cabinet minister. There are many other MPs who are here. For them, this is their window to how many of these organisations operate. And you do amazing work. The seva that you do, the selfless seva, is very much appreciated, not just by those of us who are Sikh, but by the wider community. Whether it's in terms of providing langar. I know that's one of the major institutions of the Sikh faith, the free community kitchen, but that isn't just there for the Sikh community, it's there for the wider community. It's also your work, how you promote community cohesion, how you work for Sarbat Da Pala, in the true Sikh ethos, that you're not just there to do things for the Sikh community, but you're doing things for the betterment of all, regardless of background or gender or colour or creed. I'm also very, very proud, by the way, as the chair of the Defence Committee, that we have got many serving Sikh personnel. And whether it's the Sikh network, whether it's the Defence Sikh network, and whether it's in terms of those organisations pertaining to the Sikh army, or those that are engaged in historical aspects of the contributions of Sikhs during the First and Second World War, when tens of thousands of Sikhs died for the freedom of this country, when more than 100,000 were injured as they formed part of the largest volunteer army in history. That's why you can be very, very proud of your ancestors' contributions to the freedom of this country, our country. And rest assured, as Jagtar Singh Gill himself will know, because he's one of the platinum donors, those who have pledged £25,000 for the installation of this National Sikh War Memorial right here in the centre of London, in Westminster. And touch wood, with Maharaj's Kirpa, we will have that National Sikh War Memorial in the very near future here. That will be a beacon for not just the young Sikh boys and girls, many of them who have faced racism, some of them, like me, when somebody tried to pull off their turban, because they don't know the importance of this identity and they don't know the importance of this crown that is on our heads. And it will also be a lesson for everybody else, the millions of tourists that are coming here and those within the wider British community, as to what these people who look different actually contributed to the country. So well done for all of the seva that you are doing. This is your parliament. I'm glad that you're here to display the magnificence of what you actually achieve. It's also great to see my good friend Lord Wajid Khan, the Minister for Faith and Communities. No doubt, I'm just a warm-up act for you, Wajid, right? No doubt he will be explaining some of his work, but it's incredibly important that we keep doing what we're doing in our towns and cities, and it's also that we do so with Sikhi spirit. That is very, very important. That is incredibly important to me as I serve here in the Parliament, that I want to make sure that you are all proud. And it's also wonderful that rather than just 2 Sikh MPs, we have now got 11 Sikh MPs here. And I know that when we are meeting up regularly, we are always discussing about not just Sikh issues, how we can help raise those issues, not just within the community, but on the floor of the House in Parliament as well. Thank you for everything that you do. Parmatma thanu hor bal uddam bakshe ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਰ ਸੇਵਾ ਨਿਭਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹੋ। ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹਾਂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Thank you so much, Rajwinder Kaur, for joining us. And I see that you're holding some leaflets.
Yes, so I'd just like to explain a little bit about the leaflet that I'm holding. It's the Humility, Kindness and Love Wave. That is a global initiative that is being spread around the world. The aim of the wave is to spread the one thing that Guru Nanak Dev Ji wanted us to spread around the world. His message to us was pyar, love. Love conquers all, and this initiative is designed to reach out to each and every individual in our communities, in our homes, in our workplaces, education settings, everywhere we travel. If we can spread this message, put out the advertisements, put out signs about being kind, being humble daily in our lives, not just when we attend some of these events where we feel that uplifted energy, but when we come out of these events, when we come out of our homes, let's have this daily reminder. But we need everybody's help. We need companies on board, we need conglomerates, we need education settings, we need everybody to come on board and bring initiatives to the table to say how they can put up notices, put up signs, put up the messages everywhere around them as our daily reminders, our daily plugs. That have we been kind today? Have we been loving? How can we improve? Have we smiled at somebody today? Have we uplifted their day? Have we done something kind to someone? You know, we need to get these messages out there everywhere we are. And that's the aim of this initiative. And we're going to start bringing these initiatives to our communities. So please look out for this. Please go on all the Instagram pages that we have. It's the hklwave.org. Please subscribe to Instagram and any other social media sites that you can to find out and follow the page. There is a conference on the 2nd of August in Canada, and around 6,000 delegates are expected to attend there. And this was an initiative launched at Sri Harmandir Sahib last year in November. So this wave is going to take effect. So please come on board. Please join the wave. With everybody's change of energy, where we're thinking about these values, we can shift the energy of the globe together from fear and hatred and disease. We can change the globe together. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Benji, how do you think that the Gurdwara Handbook is going to help Sevadars like yourself spread these kinds of messages?
Well, hopefully, if we can also share their platforms where they can help us reach out to all Sangats in all Gurdwara Sahibs. I think there's around 250 Gurdwara Sahibs in the UK alone. If they can get that globally out there, if they can keep pressing on this message, you know, and all the initiatives that we're bringing in, how many people can we reach in just a few seconds, in moments? That they can do this for us, and they've got that reach out there. The big companies have got the reach out there. The defence system's got the reach out there. Big companies like Severn Trent, every employee could be thinking about this from their daily lives. Just a short message can click us like this, we've done something kind today. That's going to shift the energy, it's got to be the way forward. So let's get everybody on board. Thank you so much for listening.
Vaheguru Benji, thank you for talking to us.
Gurinder Singh Josan, the MP of Smethwick, who is also our sponsor for today's event. If you could have a warm welcome and say a few words, please.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਦਾ ਕੀਮਤੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਆਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਵੀ ਬਣਦੇ ਆ, ਇੱਥੇ ਕਈ ਕੁਛ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣੇ 'ਤੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਥਾਂ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਵੀ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ। ਪਰ ਨਾਲ ਸਿਰਫ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ MP ਜਾਂ ਲੋਕ ਸਿਰਫ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਾਜ ਬਣਦਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਦੇਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ। ਅਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ MP ਆ ਲੋਕ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਟਰੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਬਣਦਾ। ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ। So I just want to say, first of all, a big welcome to everybody here today. Gurdwara Aid is a fantastic organisation. Ever since it came into being, and right up to today, they do absolutely incredible work to support our Gurdwaras and other Sikh organisations. And they do that by working outside of the traditional paradigm. And they're very much focused on the services that organisation provide and how we can improve those and how we can improve our community infrastructure, if you like. So the handbook that was launched in Derby a couple of weeks ago, and I was so privileged to be there as well, is absolutely incredible. So make sure you do take your copy of the handbook with you today. But the content of that, from everything from whether it's governance, in relation to governance, whether it's safeguarding, HR, finance, everything, health and safety, everything, it's just absolutely incredible. And some Gurdwara have got a lot of things in place, some Gurdwara have got less in place, but there's something in there for every organisation, every Gurdwara to take from. And so Mandeep Singh and his team, a big congratulations for all the work that you've all done on that. And I think this is a really, it's a resource, but it's a treasure for the community going forward. And I'm sure other communities will also be looking at it as well. And so, well done. And then, but the main purpose of today is, I've always felt, ever since I arrived here, that I'm certainly not somebody who wants to close the door after me, but it's all about using this Parliament as a platform for as many people from the community as possible. So having so many fantastic organisations in the room today, displaying what they do, talking about authoritatively what they do to parliamentarians who are coming in and out, is so incredibly important, because people in Parliament need to understand the wealth of the Sikh community. And very often politicians will come and talk about how much we contribute, how integrated we are, all those kind of things. But actually, the Sikh community does so much in so many different areas, and you've got so many organisations working on so many different things here in this room today. And I've had MPs come in and saying, where do I start? And so it's incredibly important that you get to interact with politicians, but also they get to see what you do as well. So thank you to all of our organisations here today, and for all the work they do, but for being here today, but also all the work they do in our community, which they are the unsung heroes, the volunteers who turn out in their areas of work and do that work consistently. So I'm not going to say a lot more other than we've got a few more speeches to come, but the importance of today is to be able to network and talk to each other. We've also got refreshments in that room as well. But I do want to now say a special welcome to our next guest. So Lord Khan of Burnley is a great friend, not just to myself, but to the Sikh community as well, and to all faith communities. Now he's the faith minister appointed by Keir Starmer, so he takes a very special interest in all faith communities. But I know from day one he's taken a very special interest into the Sikh community, and we have regular dialogue and we have regular conversations about what's happening in the Sikh community. So when I told him about today, he said absolutely whatever happens, he will move things in his diary to make sure he's here today, and he is. So we're really grateful for you to be here. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lord Khan.
Of the Gurdwara Handbook, we've got lots of organisations here, such as the Sikh Motorcycle Club, and we've got Kulwant Singh here. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Kulwant Singh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh Ji.
So tell me, you're here today to support the Gurdwara Handbook, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We've been fortunate enough to be invited by the organisation itself to be part of this great book which has been launched in the Parliament itself today, and we feel proud to be part of this amazing organisation and support this great cause.
I know you mentioned earlier that it's more obviously for the Gurdwaras, it's a handbook for them, but in any capacity do you think it might support organisations such as yourself?
Yeah, we can always, Sikh Motorcycle, we are a UK-wide club, and we go a lot of towns and spread the word of Sikhi with our turban and everything, and we can always support and help other people tell about the Gurdwara Aid, the amazing work they do, and also about the handbook. So I think it's a plus point for everyone here.
And how do people get involved with the Sikh Motorcycle Club?
So if you want to join us and be part of this great club, should I say, just contact through social media, Facebook, we are the Sikh Motorcycle Club UK. Put in Google and you'll find us.
Sikh Motorcycle Club, thank you so much for talking to us, much appreciated.
Waheguru Ji Da Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Good afternoon and Sat Sri Akal everybody. What an absolute pleasure to be here today, and what I see here is amazing people. This is your Parliament, so I'm so glad to see you all in Parliament today. I want to pay a huge tribute to my friend Gurinder Singh Josan for all the work he does here in Parliament and for hosting today's event. देखो पंजाबी च कहते सी एक और एक यारां और मैं आपू वेख्या there was two MPs, Tan Singh Desi and Preet Kaur Gill. From 2 MPs, ik or ik, we've got 11 Sikh background MPs. That's amazing news. This is a brilliant news to see so many Sikh voices in Parliament. I want to pay tribute to my good friend Sundar Kaur and Dr. Singh for all the work they're doing in particular, and others who have been so instrumental in this work. I'm going to have a quick shout out to my friend Jasbir Singh for the work he does, and the Professor Saiba is here as well, Professor Jagmeet Johal, can't see you somewhere. Say this on record, pay my thanks, tribute to the wonderful British Sikh community for all what you do for this country. You provide vital work, services through the Gurdwaras. Just imagine the work we did in COVID, the testing, and all the vaccines. The Gurdwara, I've seen for my own self in the Shkam in Birmingham, how it is a pillar of the community. We are inspired by the Sikh community's work, not just for the people of the Sikh community, but for the people of all faiths and for people of no faiths. So what an honour it is to be here today and look at the work that's going on. The Gurdwara handbook, and looking in particular at focusing on governance, good governance, which is sometimes needed to be reflected upon across all faiths, and you are leading the way. And Gurdwara Aid is a wonderful initiative by bringing people together. As a faith minister, I'm honoured to be here today. I know this is Punjab weather inside here, very hot in here. This is the Indian Desi weather here. Hopefully this is not too hot for you, but let me say again how promising it is to see so many people here. You are the community. This is your parliament, and to see so many here today, Dil Bada Hush hua hai. It's an honour and what a pleasure it is, and we've got some great parliamentarians here as well. So thank you so much indeed. Keep up the great work and stay blessed. You are our heroes and you are our inspiration. And I just want to say one thing about our elders here. Our elders, to the youngsters, the young crowd, never forget the sacrifices of the elder communities who came here in the 60s to build a platform for the next generation, to not just to help the families in Punjab, but also to help the families here and to build the United Kingdom, to make this country so great today, but also to make the next generation's life easier. So all the Buzurgs and all our elders, I salute you all. You are our heroes. I will never forget your sacrifices in leaving one country to travel to another country, to build that country and to build a future for your family. Sat Sri Akal.
And now we'll just present this handbook over to
by Karandeep and Gurdeep, and both of you are with the new initiative that started with, are we creating fuel from leftover langar?
So from a Seventh Trade perspective, we're just promoting that the langar food that we eat, that gets converted into, that just goes down the drains basically, but we're working with life cycle oils who then buy the oils that get trapped in the fat traps that we're trying to install across the region. So the win-win situation for the Gurdwara is not only in that they're helping the environment, they also get paid for that oil that life cycle oils buy, and they then convert that to biodiesel.
I was absolutely mind blown when I realised what you guys are actually doing, like turning it into fuel for aircrafts and things like that. It's just amazing the things that we can achieve. But what do you think that the Gurdwara handbook, how it's going to help organisations like yourselves?
I think it's going to be a case of education. So not a lot of us know, even at home, where when we're washing the dishes, washing the bandi, it's a case of, are we wiping it with a tissue first, things like that, because that's all going down the drains. But it's the same in the Gurdwara. When you do it, when you're washing the body in the Gurdwara, you're doing seva, but it's actually causing a lot of problems afterwards. So it's a case of that handbook is such a great initiative because it's going to provide education for our whole community.
Yeah, no, thank you. What are your thoughts on the launch of the handbook?
It's just an absolutely really good opportunity for the environment, for everyone to do that recycling, do your bit for the environment. It's always, and there's an opportunity for, if you've got waste at home, you can bring that to the Gurdwara and dispose of it there as well. So yeah, really, really great opportunities. Good.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite John Garbutt, the High Sheriff of London, to say a few words. Thank you very much for being here today and for making the way.
I'm John Garbutt. I'm High Sheriff of Greater London, which may not mean a lot to most of you here, but for the year to come, I'm actually overall responsible for law and order in Greater London. And that covers the courts, the prisons, the emergency services. It's an independent and totally unpolitical role. Unlike some people here, I can move between the different areas. But I'd like to just say thank you very much for welcoming me today and having me along here. It's a great honour and a privilege to be doing that, and I look forward to keeping in touch with the Sikh community over the year to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Absolutely delighted to be joined by John Garbutt, the High Sheriff of London. Thank you for speaking to me today. What are your thoughts, first of all, on the Gurdwara handbook?
Well, it sounds like it's very much needed by the Sikh community, from what I hear. I have to confess I haven't opened it as yet, so it's difficult for me to express a view on the content, but I know that a lot of hard work has got into it. And I'm very impressed by today's event to celebrate the launch of this. So congratulations to the Sikh community.
Why do you think governance within faith-based places and Sikh communities in particular is necessary?
I think governance is necessary in any community. So I was the global head of corporate governance at HSBC as a director there, and that covered all kinds of different kinds of communities, from the private sector to the public sector and so on. And good governance is good practice, so every community needs it.
Well said. Good governance is good practice. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today. Thank you.
As we mentioned today, we've got over 34 different Gurdwara. We've got nearly 50 MPs who have come in and out today, as well as lots of special members of the community who have come. So today will be whistle-stop touring of essentially why the work of Gurdwara Aid started, the why, and into the future also. So we'll go through, we'll start with Gurdwara Singh talking about the work of Gurdwara Aid and where we are headed in the future.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ all those ਜਿੱਥੇ ਛਕਦੇ ਆ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਥੋੜਾ ਲਾਗੇ ਆ ਜਾਓ we're only going to take another 10-15 minutes of your time ਤਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛਕ ਲਿਓ ਕੋਈ ਠੰਡਾ ਪੀ ਲਿਓ and ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਲਿਓ so ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ those ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਚੁੱਪ ਦਾ ਦਾਨ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ so ਦਾਸ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਇਹ ਆ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਏਡ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਉਹ ਦਸਾਉਣਾ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਸੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਛੋਟੀ ਭੈਣ ਹਰਜੋਤ ਕੌਰ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੋ ਦਾਸ ਸਿਰਫ 2 ਮਿੰਟ ਹੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ ਕਿ I want to explain the reason why Gurdwara Aid came into existence and why it is important today. As you've heard, 2019, Mandeep Singh on my left and Gurdeep Singh started Gurdwara Aid. Sadly, Gurdeep Singh is not with us today, but both of them for many years through COVID, they managed to ensure that Guru cars were safe during COVID. They handed out PPE, and lots of work was done registering Gurdwaras with the Charity Commission, making sure that our Gurdwaras and our charities governance was brought up to a standard. That work continues. So, in a nutshell, what does Gurdwara Aid stand for? It stands for two things. One is that we focus on supporting apne Gurdware, apniya Sikh charities, apniya sansthaਵਾਂ to ensure that they can fulfill the best role that they want to achieve. So we are a support organisation. We don't say to anybody that we are representative. We don't say we are the biggest. But what we do say that by working together, then we can achieve more. So any Gurdwara, any Sikh organisation that wants help, that wants support, we are here to help and support you. And you can see from the turnout today, from the Sikh organisations and the Gurdwara, that we may be doing a half-decent job. So, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. And the other bit of our work stream is to ensure that organisations, Gurdwara and Sikh charities have a better understanding of working together. ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਆ. ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਦਿਖਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ and Sikh organisations can work together, can come onto one platform. So ਸਾਡਾ ਜੋ vision ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ, that we have a better working relationship, and then we end up, like our logo says, that we work better together. So ਦਾਸ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਮਾਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ, ਹੋਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਬੁਲਾਰੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਮੇਨ ਗੱਲ ਇਹੀ ਸੀ. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਆ, we've written the handbook which you've heard about. ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ, go to gurdwarahandbook.com and you'll receive a free copy. ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ, you reach out to us and we will try our best to help you. ਦਾਸ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਕਰਦਾ. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.
Thank you so much, Lakhbir Bullah, for talking to us. This is Lakhbir Bullah, and really appreciate your time from the Sikh Guard. Tell us, what are your thoughts on the launch of this book?
No, I think it's brilliant. I think it's fantastic that we've sort of pulled everything together. It's a book that Gurdwara can use to give them guidance, give them a path to follow of this is how we do something, or this is the guidance for best practice, and it's fantastic what the co-founders of Gurdwara Aid have done in creating this handbook, because it creates a path for all Gurdwara to have some centralised guidance and knowledge with best practice from national and international research that they've done to give them ideas of how they can better perform, how they can safeguard and look after themselves, against fines, against, criminal offences that they may not have been aware of. And that's the thing.
Would you encourage other organisations to also use the handbook?
Yeah, no, I'm actually surprised. I don't know why every Gurdwara in the UK hasn't signed up to this yet, because this is something that's been created for you that tells you where the pitfalls are, how you need to avoid them, and what you need to do to stay on the right side of the law, and actually how you need to look after your sanct, and how you can better look after your sanct by managing your funds and your policies better. All round it just seems positive. And then Gurdwara Aid will also come in, to support you with that safeguarding training, governance training, policy training. It just seems fantastic,
Tell us a little bit more about the National Sikh Police Association initiative and the Sikh Guard.
Right, so I'm a retired police officer now, previously worked for Nottinghamshire Police, but I was a member of the National Sikh Police Association when I was a serving officer, and my role there was promoting Sikh Guard. So Sikh Guard is a national online platform which was created by Sikh police officers from the National Sikh Police Association to help the Sikh community to report hate crime incidents. So if the community didn't feel safe or have the confidence in the police to report anything, what we're saying to them is, this online platform, Sikh Guard, created by Sikh police officers and staff, created for our Sikh community, so you can report any hate crime incidents or hate crimes that you've seen, you've witnessed, or you believe has happened. You could be the victim of it, or you could be a witness of it. You should report it. So just go on to www.sikhguard.com and then report it on the platform there.
Thank you so much, Lakbir. We'll love
Thank you for speaking to me today
and sharing your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll call Arvinder Singh up to talk us through some essential cost savings at Gurdwara and how we're really paving the pathway forwards in sustainability in our Gurudwaras. Thank you.
Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I have my speech here, but Jagtar said keep it sweet and simple. So, I'm responsible for making sure that Gurdwara Aid is effective, and how I do that is to ensure that our Guru Cars become more efficient. So my focus is on energy savings, and we have a company called T150 that we're working with. T150, in essence, just once the Gurdwara builds, they will do the analysis, and they will say you can save X amount of money, all being well. My local Guru Car in Walsall recently saved £14,000 on the renewal contract. There's another Guru Car in the London area looking at saving of £45,000. And only last week, I think Matt will tell me now, there's a Gurdwara in the Midlands region which is saving up to £30,000. Now, we have to recognise that the Guru Cars are powerhouses. They consume a lot of energy, and that energy is used for cooking. We like our samosa, we're eating far too many samosa, we've got lots of issues with our health, and we're also causing problems down the drainage systems as well. So there's a company called ECAS which loves to find people, loves to find Guru Cars. Some Guru Cars have been fined, and this is our responsibility to make sure that Guru Cars do not get fined again. So we've spoken to ECAS, we're working closely with Severn Trent, and with their council we have partnered with them and a company called LCO, Life Cycle Oils. We're encouraging the Sangat to install the unit supplied by Fat Stripper. It prevents oils from going into the drainage systems. That oil is then collected by LCO, is purchased. We install 1,000 litre tanks within the Gurdwara car parks ordinarily, and each of those tanks can generate £250. And those tanks can generate £250 for your Gurdwara. So I encourage you, particularly those from the Gurdwara community, to speak to the likes of Matt at T150, speak to LCO about getting your tanks installed. The investments from LCO is several thousands of pounds per Guru Car. At the moment, the installation of these units is free, but in the future, if we're not careful, I might start.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਮ ਦੱਸੋ।
ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਜੋਗਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਵੈਸਟਰਮ ਤੋਂ। ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਹੋ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰ ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੀ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦਾ।
ਮੁੱਖ ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰ, ਹਾਂਜੀ। ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੀ ਖਿਆਲ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਹੈਂਡਬੁੱਕ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਲਾਂਚ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ?
ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਜੀ। ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਆਈਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਆ, ਉਹ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ। ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰ ਲਈਆਂ, ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ 'ਚ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਲਾਗੂ ਆ। ਸੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਧੀਆ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਆ, ਵਧੀਆ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਮੈਨੇਜ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਆ। ਸੋ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਮੁੱਲੀ ਸਗਾਤ ਆ, ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਬੜਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ।
ਇਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲੋਕਲ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਇਸ ਬੁੱਕ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਖਾਸ?
ਲੱਕਲੀ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਸੱਦ ਕੇ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਸੀ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ, ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪਾਲਿਸੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਲਈਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ, ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰਲੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ 'ਚ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਵੱਡਾ ਕਦਮ ਹੈ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੇ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਲਿਖੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਜਾਂ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਜਾਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਉਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਪਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਸੁਚੇਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਕੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਨਿਭਾਉਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ। ਐਂਡ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਹੈਂਡਬੁੱਕ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੀ ਖਿਆਲ ਨੇ?
ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਉਦਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਏਡ ਨੇ। ਚਲੋ ਸਾਰੀ ਟੀਮ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੰਮੇ ਚਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਲੱਗੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਵੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰ ਆ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਡਰਬੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਮੁੱਖ ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰ ਆ, ਮੈਂ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਭਾ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਡਰਬੀ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰ ਆ। ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਿੱਖ ਮਿਊਜ਼ੀਅਮ ਬਣਿਆ ਹੁਣ, ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਾਰ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਜਨਰਲ ਸੈਕਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਚੀ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ 'ਚ ਕਈ ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਪਾਉਂਡ ਖਰਚਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਸੀਗੀ। ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਲਈ ਕੁਛ ਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਕਰੀਏ, ਸਿੱਖ ਮੁੰਡ ਲਈ ਕੁਛ ਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਕਰੀਏ। ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਾ ਹੋਰ ਪਾਸੇ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ, ਪਰ ਇਸ ਸਾਈਡ 'ਤੇ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੀ। ਮੈਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਮੇਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਓਪਨਿੰਗ ਕਰਾਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਬਾਰਿੰਗ ਡਰਬੀ ਵਿਖੇ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਓਪਨਿੰਗ ਇੱਕ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਸੀ। ਮੈਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੀ, ਸਾਰੀ ਕੰਮ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਲੱਗੀ। ਹਰੇਕ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਾਪੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਬ੍ਰੈਡਫੋਰਡ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਲਵਾਂ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ 500 ਪਾਉਂਡ ਦਊਂਗਾ। ਮੇਰੇ ਪੂਰੇ 5 ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਚੱਕ ਲਿਆਈ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਗਤਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬਾਰਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਕਿਤੇ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਜਗਤਾਰ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਮੰਗਾ ਲਿਓ। ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ, ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ, ਅਤੇ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਹੁਣ ਨਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਗਏ ਆ, ਲਾ ਨਵੇਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਆ ਗਏ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੁਣ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਆਉਣੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ। ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਅਤੇ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਜੋ ਕੁਛ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਸੀ। ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਪਾਲਿਸੀਆਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਕੌਂਸਟੀਟਿਊਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਚੈਰਿਟੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੋਈ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ। ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਬੱਚੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਤੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ, ਬੱਚੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕੇਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਕੋਲ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਾਈਡ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਫ੍ਰੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਵੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਵਕੀਲ ਵੀ ਨਾਲ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ, ਇਹ ਹਰੇਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਦਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਬਣਦਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ, ਪਰ ਸਾਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਹੋਏ ਨਹੀਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਹੋਰ ਪਾਸੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਇੱਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਜਗਤਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਛੋਟੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਦੇ, ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਦਾ, 40-50 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੱਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ, ਸਾਰੀ ਟੀਮ ਦੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਦਮ ਦਾ, ਅਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਨੂੰ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦਿਓ।
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਬੱਚੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਤੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਇਸ ਹੈਂਡਬੁੱਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਛ ਹੈ
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਂਡਲ ਅੱਗੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਕੇਸਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹੋ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਨ, ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਤੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਨਾ ਕਰਨ। ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਬੰਦ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਾਗੇ ਆ ਸਾਰੀ ਟੀਮ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਵਿਕਟਮ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਖੜਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਹਮਦਰਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੀ ਹੈ। ਐਂਡ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਹੈਂਡਬੁੱਕ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ?
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਮੈਂ ਹਰਦਿਆਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਧਮੜੈਤ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਡਰਬੀ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਦਿਨ ਤੋਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੋਂ ਡਰਾਫਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਉਸੇ ਦਿਨ ਤੋਂ ਨਾਲ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਡਰਾਫਟ ਵੀ ਇੰਪਰੂਵ ਕਰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ। ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਚਲਵਾਣੇ ਹੁਣ ਔਖੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਆ, ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੀ ਵੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਿਆ ਚੱਲ ਪਿਆ। ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਚਲਾਉਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਬੁੱਕਲੈਟ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ। ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪਾਲਿਸੀਆਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਮੇਟੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਪੈਣੀਆਂ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸੇਫ ਗਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਦੀ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ, ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਦੀ, ਇਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਕਮੇਟੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਬੁੱਕ। ਇਹ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਬੁੱਕ ਆ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੇਵਾਦਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਨੀ ਪੈਣੀ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕਾਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇਹ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਹੈਗੀ ਗ੍ਰੰਥੀ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨਾਲ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਜੇ ਗ੍ਰੰਥੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਆਪਣੀ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਿਭਾਉਂਦੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਹੋਏ ਆ, ਪਹਿਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਲੁਕਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਮਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਿਕਟਿਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਅਕਿਊਜ਼ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਰਨੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਮੇਰੀ ਹੱਥ ਜੋੜ ਕੇ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਏਡ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਇਹ ਬੁੱਕਲੈਟ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਨੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਕਰਕੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅਤੇ ਪਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਹਾਲਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਬੁੱਕਲੈਟ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪਾਲਿਸੀਆਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਚਲਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਲੋੜ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਲਦੀ ਤੋਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਰ ਲੈਣ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਵੱਡੇ ਜੁਰਮਾਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਵਾਧੂ ਖਰਚਾ ਪੈ ਸਕਦਾ। ਮੈਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਚੈਨਲ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ-ਬਹੁਤ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਏਡ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ। ਮੇਰੀ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਫਿਰ ਇਹੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਇਹ ਬੁੱਕਲੈਟ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਪਾਲਿਸੀਆਂ ਲਾਗੂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Safeguarding is a serious issue, and it's highlighted in the book as well, and we can just see from all the members that are gathered here just how important the launch of this guide is today. So thank you very much. ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ।
So next we have Mandeep Singh. Now he's going to be sharing why the handbook was so crucial to put together, As one of the co-founders of Gurdwara Aid, his deep invested interest is so dunga, and now you can really understand why it is that the handbook was so crucial. Thank you, Mandeep Singh ji.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So I'm just going to talk about this idea, the Gurdwara iceberg. You can see it on the screen. What does that mean? What that shows us is that a Gurukar is like an iceberg. The top of the iceberg is what you see jehde dharmik kam karde hai, vyah shadiyan karne, kirtan karne, paath karne, oh upar sara kuch dista hai. Jehda pani de thale hai, oh dista nahi hai. That's your governance, that's your operations, that's your HR, that's your finance, that's your food safety, that's your safeguarding that you don't see. If that's not there, then the iceberg will topple. And what that's showing us is that as a Sikh community, for the last 50 years, we have been limping along because we have not had the governance base right. The Sikh community can do so much more if our governance and operations are, sound footing. And that's really what the iceberg tells us about. If you look at the next slide, you can see all the different parts that go into making that. You've got your Vrath Maryada, you've got your Dal Takat, then underneath the governance activities. Sorry, piche mein chup da daan baksho please, kyunki assi 5 minute ਹੋਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਗੱਲ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. So the other thing I just want to say today is that in a Gurukar, the law has changed so much. There's 36 different laws that apply to Gurukar. And it means that we have to run a Gurukar with the same mindset that we run a small company. It's the same idea, same way of approaching. So this handbook, if you can all see this handbook, is a result of all of that hard work. The handbook's taken us 2 years to write. It's been through a number of people, charity lawyers, a group of core Gurdwaras. It's been through Sikh academics, it's been through the Charity Commission, it's been through DBS, it's been through charity lawyers. So we know this book is on real sound footing. That's why it's such an important piece of work. This is the most important piece of work in the last 20 years in the UK for the Sikh community. I'm just going to stop there. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Delighted to be joined by Mandeep Singh from Gurdwara Aid. Virji, tell us how crucial the handbook is going to be to our Sikh institutions and Gurdwaras.
Thank you, Benji, for coming here. And you can see the response that we've had is absolutely been amazing. The handbook is a pioneering piece of work. It's the most important piece of work in our community for a long time. Why is it important? If you look at our Gurdwaras, we are essentially just limping along at the moment. And if you think about an iceberg, at the top of the iceberg we have all the dharmic stuff, the Bard, Kirtan, that everybody sees. Underneath that is the invisible part people don't see. That's all the governance, the operations, which people don't see. And if those things are not solid, proper, the iceberg tips over. So the whole point about the handbook is to give them the base, teach them about the base, show them how the base should be made strong so that institutions are strong. And that's the idea behind the handbook, and that's why it's so crucial, because it gives us the best practices, talks about the laws. There's 36 different laws that apply to Gurdwara. People don't know that. There's anti-money laundering laws, there's marriage laws, there's water industry act laws because we do langar. There's food safety laws. There's so many different laws that apply, and each one of those we need to have a policy and a way to deal with it. And that's why the handbook is going to be so important, and that's what the handbook's going to cover, to show Gurdwaras and Gurukars and the committees the best practices and how to deal with those aspects of running a Gurukar and the operation. And in the modern sense in the UK, having that many laws, it's like running a small company. That's the way we have to think about running our Gurukars as well. So if we have a good operational base, it's only then that Sikhi can really flourish in the UK, because that makes our institutions strong.
Absolutely. So it's not just about governance, but it's about things like safeguarding and supporting the sevadars as well. Let's talk a little bit about safeguarding within our community, within the Gurdwaras, and and how much do we cover that in the handbook?
So safeguarding is hugely important. It's a legal requirement, as you know, and Gurukars have been a little bit slow, but not just Gurukars, but all places of worship have been really poor at this. So it's an opportunity for us to set in place a bespoke program for Gurukars, English with Punjabi which, so that ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਿਆਨੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ ਜਥੇ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਤੇ ਉਸੂਲ ਕੀ ਆ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਕੀ ਨਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ. So it's really, really important for that, and that's another thing that we've developed as well. The handbook goes that in a lot of details, but on top of that we will have a bespoke training program that we are now rolling out across the UK for Gurukars, which will do it in English and Punjabi.
What went into creating the handbook, and how long did it take for us to create?
Well, the handbook has been 2 years in working. It's taken us that long to write it. Then after it was written, it had to be validated. So it's been through a number of iterations, a number of people have seen it. So we had a group of ski scholars have seen it, academics have seen it, a group of core Gurdwaras have seen it, we've had charity lawyers have seen it, we've had input from the Charity Commission, the DBS as well, and a number of professionals have seen it. So it's been through a lot of people just to make sure that we've been, what we have is got on a good grounding, and now we're able to publish it because it's been through that process. And that process itself is like a governance itself, because doing that process in that way shows that we're living the way we want to believe, that we want everyone to believe.
I can see some announcements are being made, so we're going to come back to you, Vidya, and talk a bit more about what's in the handbook and how we can get a copy. Is it accessible to everybody? So perhaps you can answer that now as well.
Yeah, so the handbook is actually, you can go to the gurdwarahandbook.com, register, the handbook is online, and you get all the chapters for free online. If anyone, Gurukars wants a handbook themselves, there's a form that they can ask, and we'll just send it to them.
And thank you. We'll just have our closing remarks from Paramjit Kaur. She's had over 2 decades of a career within JP Morgan Chase and other companies, and is the global lead of indirect tax. A wonderful inspiration and a credit to our team at Gurdwara Aid.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਏ ਹੋ. Thank you so much everyone for making the time to come here and spend a little bit of time celebrating the success of the Sikh community in the UK. I'm going to flip between Punjabi and English just to make sure I catch everyone. So my name is Paramjit Kaur, and I am so privileged to be part of this team at Gurdwara Aid. And just to sort of, for those who are non-Sikhs in the room, and also for the Sikhs, perhaps 2 minutes of a little recap that our Guruji made each and every one of us sovereign. We are all free, we're all born of one God, and we live on this earth to actually be the best of ourselves at all times. And what that means is, individually, we practice faith. Collectively, we practice faith. But the way we institutionalize ourselves and make sure that we are safeguarding the institution, it's young people, it's old people, the broader community, that requires thought. So echoing what Mandeep Singh was saying in terms of the work that has been done to make sure we're addressing the legal requirements, the governance requirements, and actually being a support group for the Sikh community. So ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਣੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੋਜ਼ ਸੇਵਾ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ, ਲੰਗਰ ਚੱਲਦਾ, ਪਾਠ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਸਾਡਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਮਰਿਆਦਾ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਦਰ ਛਾਇਆ ਸਾਡਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਝੂਲਦਾ ਆ, that is going to be forever amar. The responsibility for us, whether you're running a Sikh charity or whether you're running a Gurdwara or any other kind of Sikh cause, then we need to make sure pakka rahe. Because Guru Ji ne discipline dasi hai sanu. So the Gurdwara handbook is really all about governance, discipline, smooth operations, and to make sure that we own it. We own that good behavior, and that ranges all the way through, as Havinder Singh was saying, efficiency and ecosystems. Goes back to Guru Angad Dev Ji's message. If you go to Khadur side, you will see green gardens, you will see recycled water. And what we're doing with recycling oil is very much in the ethos. So without being too long about this, please do give us feedback on this event. So the QR code hai gaya. There are bags to take away. The handbook is available. Tusi website te jaake jehdi QR code vi hegi hai, tusi you can get the book online and please spread the word. Jo Lord Khan kehde sige na ki Sikh community vi jisi pehal kafi kari di hai, especially to be the ones who put our heads up above the parapet. Asi karde hai kam. ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗਵਰਨੈਂਸ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੀਂ ਨਰੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ we can set up a Gurdwara, you know, a group of Sikhs can set up a Gurdwara. We can have hundreds of Gurdwara, but we need to bind them. They can all be connected by good governance, and the Gurdwara handbook is the toolkit for that. So with that, I will say thank you so much. I always take more time than they give me, so thank you for not nagging me, Harjot Kaur. And thank you all for being here. Stores, we have a wonderful display. The range of work that is being done by Sikh bodies all over the place. We are very proud to be able to say there are different organizations doing excellent work in the community, and for them we say thank you so much for your time, and please continue the program.
Delighted to be joined by Sukhi Kaur from Sikh Women's Association. It's honestly wonderful to see you here today. What are your thoughts on the Gurdwara handbook?
I think it is absolutely groundbreaking work, because whilst a lot of our Gurdwaras are doing amazing work in the community, the needs of our community in today's generation have shifted, and there's a much more demand from the Sikh Punjabi community for Gurdwaras to really understand what their purpose is. And with the Gurdwara Aid handbook, Sikh Women's Aid actually provided all the guidance around violence against women and girls, unregistered marriages. So we've worked very closely with Mandeep Singh, and even like the people who founded this initiative saw the need for really Gurdwaras to step up, because one thing we are hearing across the country is domestic violence is now coming in through the Gurdwara services, and now what we need to provide is a robust response to that, and I think this handbook is a fantastic response to that.
How do you think the handbook is going to help organisations like yourself?
I think it's going to transform Gurdwaras to become the community spaces they need to become now. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sukhi Kaur. Absolute pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you for that, Paramjeet Kaur. And now we have Mike Ward, Conservative MP. If you could come forward, please, to say a few words.
Thank you, and it's a real pleasure and honour to be able to join you this afternoon for this incredibly important initiative, because as members of Parliament, we know the role that Sikh communities play in every one of our constituencies right up and down the country, in the daily community life, obviously focused through Sewa and the practical contribution that is made in every single part of whether it's our business communities, our public services, or our charitable organisations. You will find the Sikh community. And so I think this initiative, Gurdwara Aid, helping to provide that coordination to make sure that really can be far, far more than the sum of your parts, that work can be magnified and help even more people of all faiths and none right across the country is an incredible contribution. So thank you so much for coming to Parliament this afternoon, and thank you for everything that you do right across the United Kingdom.
We're delighted to be joined by Mike Wood. If you'd like to just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm the Member of Parliament for Kingswinford and South Staffordshire. I'm also Shadow Minister for the Cabinet Office in Parliament.
What are your thoughts on the handbook?
Well, I think it's a really important contribution to make sure that obviously the incredible work that Gurdwaras do up and down the country, that's coordinated so that we can get maximum value for the communities that are served, and obviously that principle of seva and making sure that that really delivers everything it can. As I said from the stage, it becomes more than the sum of its parts. When I co-hosted the Vaisakhi event here in Parliament earlier this year, obviously speaking then about the amazing work the Sikh communities do around the country, and this handbook will mean that can produce even better results.
How do you think that governments are supporting faith-based organisations such as Sikh Gurdwaras?
Well, I mean, I think, to be honest, it can be patchy. Sometimes it can be taken for granted, and sometimes there can be a suspicion of people who are motivated by their faith, whatever that faith may be. But we see the results, and helping particularly some of the most vulnerable people in our community. The amazing work that is done by people who are motivated by their faith, but particularly our Sikh communities. And we need government and every other part of decision-making process to really support that rather than getting in the way.
Thank you so much for taking the time to share your thoughts.
Thank you very much.
And now I will relieve you all, but before I do, one final note to say that the key message and the lasting message from today is our name, Gurdwara Aid, better together. And we are truly so proud and grateful for the core team that we have around us. Jagdar Baji, Mandeep Singh, we've got Paramjit Kaur, Jagdev Baji as well, and Harvinder Singh, and all the other partners that we have together. Truly, we are better together. And it was never a one-person project. This is the realization of each and every individual and each and every partner's hard work, something tangible that we can take forwards to our future generations, and a real set of structure and rules that we can put into our Sikh institutions. So thank you, a big thank you to, it'd be amiss without mentioning Tej from TS Designs. Now, he is the one who so diligently put all of the hard work into this actual vision. So all of the organisation of the pages, each paragraph, he's really, done the final part and put this vision into a reality, as well as all of the sevadars and volunteers that we have today. So from Severn Trent, Life Cycle Oils, we've got T150, as well as the Sikhs in Banking and Finance Group, as well as the Goldman Sachs Sikh Network, British Organisation of Sikh Students. I could go on, but I would go out of breath and everybody would get hungry. So thank you so much for all coming here today. GINU, and as the call to action, if you have any issues within your Gurdwara that you would like for us to take a look at, please do get in contact with us. Also, please register on gurdwarahandbook.co.uk to get your copies, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Deep Sahota and the whole Sikhs in Law team for talking to us today. What are your thoughts on the event today?
This event is absolutely amazing. It's been really lovely to meet a lot of people that are really ready to support the Gurdwara. Here in Sikhs in Law, we really want to support Sikh children getting into law, and we really appreciate the opportunity of being invited to the House of Parliament.
Thank you so much. Anybody else would like to say anything? What did you think of the launch today?
I think it was quite interesting to see different perspectives and new ideas, and definitely the vision of Gurdwara Aid today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. This is Sikhs in Law at the launch today by Gurdwara Aid for the Gurdwara Handbook. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Here in the House of Commons, you can see community leaders, MPs, Gurdwara management members, all have gathered here, and the presence highlights the importance of Sikh institutions within the fabric of British society. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So this launch not only highlights the strength of our community, but it also reaffirms seva, honesty, all of those things, the unity that defines Sikhi. With this handbook, Gurdwaras across the UK have got a valuable resource to help them grow sustainably and continue serving the Sangat and wider society effectively. Thank you so much for tuning in. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.